Hello everybody and welcome back to Building Tutorials. And today I am going to be working on my ray tracing testing area once again. So last episode I worked on building this cave room. So right over here is the kind of like cave simulator that's supposed to simulate what it would be like inside of a cave. So I've got all the different ores. I've got the stone and the deep slate version. The deep slate one is definitely a lot darker in here. I've even got lava and water so that you can see what those would look like. Now today, what I'm going to be working on is building the water section. Now for that, I was going to expand off of here, and I'm going to build kind of like a water tunnel that connects both of these like cave rooms together, and then you can walk through and there's going to be a different kind of fish. I'm going to have coral, all kinds of different like underwater stuff on each side. Kind of like over here, if we go over to the Minecraft Zoo, if I go into the water area, we'll have kind of like different stuff in each section, but it's going to be fully encased in water. So let's head over to the ray tracing testing area here. And let's start by putting in some glass. Now, I wanted to do a test because I've opened up this. It's letting a lot more light in. If I go ahead and block this back up with the blocks, you can see it's a lot darker. And as soon as I open this up, it gets brighter in here. I wanted to see if I use tinted glass to start with, does this actually block the light? So if I go and start by putting tinted glass just here, does that work the same as like blocking it up with the blocks? I think it does. So I could probably put in, I might even be able to just do a door. A door might make this a little bit easier if I get like a solid door, because I've already tested that certain doors don't let light in. So if I just grab like a dark oak door and put that down here, this will be kind of like the entrance instead of having like the glass. That way it doesn't let any light in, and I can still put the regular glass around here. So that's what I'm going to do is this area right here. I'm going to fill this all in with glass, and I'm going to build a nice little glass tunnel that goes all the way along here and then connects up to this part over here. Now, I haven't actually put the door in on this side yet, so I need to do that. So I'm going to get rid of this area. The only thing is, I do have my drip leaves here by the door. I guess I can leave them. They're not really in the way, so I'll leave them for now. But I could move them to like maybe over there or somewhere else so that it's easier to access this area. But I'm going to go through, put in all of this glass, and then I got to figure out how to fill this in with water. Okay, so I finished building the glass tunnel here, and this is what it looks like. We've got a villager who's kind of stuck in here. Let's see if we can let him out. You want to go out? Where are you going? Oh, there we go. We got him out. Perfect, because this area right here is all going to get filled in with water. But before I do that, I want to put in the floor. And for this, I'm going to turn all this grass into sand. So I'm going to go through here, break away all of this dirt, fill this in with sand. And then I'm going to be ready to work on putting in all of the water. Which I've got an idea on how I want to do the water. I'm going to start with kind of like filling in the top bit up here full of water and see if that'll fill up this entire thing. If it doesn't, then I'm going to have to go through and put kelp down, because if you place kelp down and then break it, it actually turns water into a source block. And I want to make sure that this is solid water and not flowing water, because that would mess up the way this would work. So I'm gonna go through here, put all this sand down, and then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna put the water in. Okay, so I've put in all of the sand, all of the glass. It's now time for the water. Now, for the water, I want to make sure that this is solid blocks. Now, I've built a little test over here so that you can see the difference between solid water and flowing water. Now, just looking at them, it's kind of hard to tell which one is which. They look pretty much the same, but there is a difference. Now, the easiest way to tell is by throwing an item into the water. So if I throw a door in there and a door in here, if it's solid water, the item should float up to the top, like that. Now, if it's not, and it's flowing straight down, the item will be stuck at the bottom of the water. So that is one of the tests that you can do to tell if the water is solid. Now, a few ways that you can make solid water is, one, you take the water and you fill it up on every single layer, like this, and that will make solid water. So if I throw a block in there, like this door, it will go to the bottom, and then it'll make its way right back up to the top. Now, the other way that you can do is with kelp. So if I go ahead and fill this in here, break away all the blocks, and then just fill in the top block here, which should make flowing water. And if I grab kelp, I can actually plant that, and it will grow and create source blocks if you make it go all the way up to the top like this. So now that that's been filled in with kelp, you can just break it like that. And then if I throw my door in there, it now floats back up to the surface. So those are two ways that you can create solid water. For this, because it's such a small area, I'm just going to go through with the water bucket and just fill it up layer by layer. Because putting in with this big of an area, putting in kelp everywhere will take a very long time. Now, because it's a very narrow passageway, it doesn't take a lot of water to actually fill this up. So I'm going to go through and put in a bunch of water here. And as you can see, it's already looking pretty cool with the ray tracing. Definitely looks a lot better than like regular Minecraft water. But I'm going to go through and fill this up. I'll show you how it works. For the next layer, all I have to do is fill in this side right here with water. And then I got to fill in this side with water like that. And now it's solid water, which is really easy. So I'm going to go through, just put the water in around the edges like this. And it's already filling itself in. Look at that. I didn't really have to do that much. So this is way faster to be able to turn this into solid water. I just have to put buckets on the side like that. And it just fills itself in. Look at that. That's going really fast. Okay, so I filled in this entire area with water, and it's all solid water. All you gotta do is throw a block in to test it. And it could be any block. You can throw stone, doors, deep slate, glass. Like, every block that you throw in there, all those blocks should make it up to the surface. And there they go. They're all coming up to the surface, which means this is solid water. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and put in a bunch of underwater stuff. Now I got to find where I put my kelp. It's over here. Because I want to put some kelp in here. I just have to get it to grow up. So I'm going to put some kelp in around the area because kelp is really common in the water. So I'm just going to put a bunch of this around. And then once that's done, I can start putting in some other stuff. Alright, so I've put in a bunch of kelp. I think that's a pretty good amount. I do need to put some over on this side. So I'm just going to scatter some kelp around like this. And then I do want to put in some seagrass is the next thing that I want to add. And you can also see, like, as I'm going around here, how, like, the water affects the way everything looks. It's, like, being distorted, which is really cool. But I'm going to go through, get rid of all these blocks because I don't need them. And I'm going to grab a bunch of underwater plants to start off with. The last thing I'm going to do is add in some fish. Now, we've got seagrass, which is right over here. We've also got different types of coral, so I'm going to grab every type of coral so that we can see the differences between them. So I'm going to grab all these. I can't fit all of them in my inventory, but that's kind of the main stuff that you can find underwater. There's also lily pads that you can get, so I'm definitely going to put some of those down. But I'm working with the underwater stuff to start with here. So I'm going to scatter a little bit of this coral around here. There's really no pattern that I'm going with. I'm just kind of putting it down. And I also have the other side that I want to do. I do want to put some seagrass in. So I'm definitely going to put a little bit of seagrass around here. And then we'll put some more coral down like this. And I got to go back and grab some of the other bits of coral. Now, there's also the coral blocks as well. This is like the placeable coral, but there is also the block form as well. So over in this area, I'm going to put some of the coral blocks down because I don't really have a lot in this area. Now, you can also put the coral on the blocks as well. So I'm going to put a little bit of coral on there. I'll put, have I used the yellow one? Yeah, I used the yellow one over there. So I think I've used every color. So that's going to be it for there. I'm going to put a little bit of coral in here. I don't have any seagrass in this area. I put all the seagrass over here. So I'm going to grab a little bit of seagrass to put in on this side. And then it's time to put in the lily pads and the actual animals. So there's a bunch of underwater stuff. I'm interested to see what this looks like through the glass inside. I'm hoping it's visible and it's not going to be like really distorted. So I'm just going to go around here, put a bunch of lily pads down like this. See if we can get any like shadows from them in the water. I don't know if we will, but I want to put some down. I want to get them like on the sides as well. I keep putting them in the middle. Like, look at all these. I'm going to try and spread them out a little bit. I'll put some, like, on top of the actual walking area here. So that hopefully we'll see, like, some kind of shadow. I think that looks pretty good. So now that I've got that, let's get some actual fish to swim around in here. Okay, so I've got a bunch of different underwater animals. So I'm going to go and spawn all of these guys in. I'm going to try and get, like, multiple of each. Like, especially the tropical fish. There's so many different types of tropical fish. So I'm going to spawn in a bunch of those. We'll spawn in a few puffer fish here. We'll get an axolotl. Okay, maybe we're not going to get the axolotls. I forgot. They're going to fight. Are they going to fight everything? I think they're going to fight everything. That's not good. We might have to put the axolotls in their own area. Because they're going to go through and they're going to kill all of the fish, aren't they? At least I think they are. I don't know what they're going to do. I might have to get this glass back up here. Let me start by putting in some salmon over on this side. So we'll get some of those guys. But we're definitely going to need to put the axolotls on their own side here. Oh, the only thing is they're going to be able to climb out. Because they can actually walk on land. So I'm going to have to, like, fully block this area in to keep them out. So I'm going to go through, fill in this area here with glass, and I'm going to keep the axolotls on this side. And hopefully they won't kill every single fish in the tank. Alright, so I've got the axolotls their own little area. I'm going to spawn in a few more so we can get a whole bunch of different colors. I think I might have put a little too many axolotls in there. But it's fine. They're definitely really cool creatures. I do want to get some more frogs in. And now I can start spawning in some of the other animals. Now that the axolotls are out of the way. Okay, so I finished putting in a bunch of different animals here. Hopefully they stay in. The frogs, I feel like they're going to jump out. Like, there goes one of them already. I might have to build like a 1 block high like ring around here with glass just to kind of keep the turtles from getting out. So I'm going to do that real quick, and that'll also help prevent the fish from getting out as well, and possibly the squids from dying. So I'm going to go through and put just like one block above here. That should be enough to protect these guys, and hopefully they won't get out if I build this around here. This bit is kind of blocked in for the axolotl so they don't get out. But I'm gonna put glass all the way around here. So that should be good now. Hopefully there's nothing... Actually, this block right here, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in as well, just to make sure that no fish can end up dying. So there's that. That should be good enough. Let's see how this goes. The frogs aren't really going in the water too much. They're kind of just jumping around the glass. I'm going to be surprised if they stay here because they're already leaving. Like, there's one that's over there. They might actually eat some of the slimes. I don't know if there doesn't seem to be any around here. I am going to spawn in just a few more frogs because they keep jumping out, so I can keep them in here as long as possible. So let's go and actually see what this looks like from the inside because I haven't looked at it yet. So we've got both doors here. We got a door on this side and a door over here to enter. So that way it keeps the cave area nice and dark. And as you can see, the vines have actually started to grow, which is really good. Alright, so let's go inside of here and let's see what it looks like. Already, just opening the door just lets in all the light, which is pretty cool. And now, let's let the light adjust for a little bit, but we can see all of the different fish. Here's the axolotls here that are just swimming around, and it's a little distorted. It's kind of hard to see through like the glass and the water, but it's still fairly clear. Over on this side, we've got all the different frogs and fish. You can see there was a tadpole. Yeah, there's the tadpole there. We got some salmon swimming around. I think there was somewhere around here, there was some tropical fish. Here's the cod. There's one of the tropical fish, some more tadpoles. You can see all the different coral. You can even look at the ground, and you can see like the water ripples reflecting on the ground, which is pretty cool as well. And I think that's a shadow of one of the turtles. You can also see the lily pad shadows. That's what I wanted to see, is I wanted to see those lily pad shadows. I should probably turn on time so that we can see like what this looks like at different times of day. Because right now I've got it set to always day. So let me turn on the daylight cycle. Okay, so I've just turned on the daylight cycle, so the sun should start to move now. You can also see the frogs up here. Look at these guys. For a second, I thought there was an axolotl swimming over on this side, but no, it's just the reflection of the glass. Look at that. It makes it look like they're over here, but they're not. That's really cool. Over on this side, we can see all the different coral. We got a glow squid, which I don't know how the squids are going to survive. I think a lot of them have already died. Like, we got another squid over here. Bunch of tropical fish. We've even got some puffer fish in here as well. I think it's a little crowded with the fish, but they should hopefully find their way around here. They'll hopefully spread out. Like, we've got one of these turtles. The turtle just kind of barely fits in there. But now I want to change the time of day here and see what it looks like later on. Okay, so I've changed the time of day here. It's now sunset. And as you can see, this looks a lot different at sunset than it does when it was like noon. I want to see what it looks like from the outside. Here's what it looks like in the cave room. Let's go out. We gotta go out this way. I just want to see what the sunset actually looks like. Oh, that looks really cool. This is what this area looks like from outside. Like, it's really dark. You can't even see in there. Let's see what happens once it actually becomes nighttime. You can start to see the glow of all the lights around the village. That's really cool. Like, the gas station over here, all the different cars are glowing. Like, even the office building. Like, this looks so cool at night. Why do we have phantoms? You're not supposed to show up this early. Okay, so I've changed the time of day. It is now midnight. It's changed a little bit. We've got the water ripples back on the ground, which is cool. Let's see if anything outside has changed. Probably not. It's gonna look about the same as it did before. But I might as well go check. Let's see what it looks like now. Yeah, it's about the same. It's like there's a little bit more light now that the moon's out. So I want to see what this room looks like. This is the room where you can see like the shadows that the light produces. And at the moment, there doesn't really seem to be very many. Like, there's a little bit of light from this, but that's because that emits light. So that's really the only thing that really changes in here. Otherwise, it's really dark. So next episode, I'm going to be working on adding a forest room to the testing area here. That'll kind of test what it looks like if you were to go through a forest with the ray tracing on. So that's what I'm going to work on building next time. But this is coming along pretty good. We've got our water section here. We got our cave section over here. We've got the shadow testing and different light testing over here for testing the different light sources. So next episode, I'm going to build the brand new forest area. And then that's going to be the end of this testing area. But that's going to be it for today, so I'm going to go and end the episode here, so make sure to leave a like and to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody!